There are those who declare themselves awake. This term, as a finality in one's existence or growth, must be abandoned and rebranded into verb form instead of a means to describe one's state. Awakening. We are in the process of awakening. The eyes of individuals may be opening, and each day that greets us allows for them to open a little more. Each new discovery or revelation is a finite point, a capstone on the succession of pyramids of one's awakening. Like the all-seeing eye, an illuminated window shining into the soul. Beneath is the structure of hard evidence, spiritual desires, and personal interpretations, creating the singularity of a truth. That truth then becomes one of many, and as well, a foundation block to the greater mystery. Together they unite the split, dualistic, manufactured identity of the modern human condition. In other words, we are made whole again. We may be labeled with derogatory terms such as conspiracy theorists, wackos, and a multitude of other words used to push us to the fringes of our social groups. We've become ostracized in such a way so that we can be packaged into a tidy subculture, easily used for media amusements or establishment agendas. They will ridicule us and provoke us into becoming reactionary. They will polarize us through blatant displays of corruption, greed, and injustice. Our job is to be vigilant and take note of the propaganda that is pushed on us. Realize the farce of politics as a system of slave management, and recognize our economic and monetary system for the invisible debt prison that it has become. How easily we have embraced these systems, and now regard them as necessary and integral to our existence. Waking up is the process of acknowledgement and shedding of these systems. I like to think that there are three main nodes a person encounters within this process, and those are denial, acceptance, and action. Denial is, of course, the healthy starting point to the big picture. It means the brain is struggling with the fact that there are unanswered questions in the worldview of the individual, but a good deal of effort must be made to move past this stage. There are protective measures that evolve during one's programming that then act as a security enforcement of the comfort so many of us remember prior to witnessing so many truths. And yes, many times, many of us can be envious of that comfort, that warm place in which we were so assured of everything in our lives. One must be skeptical of all that surrounds, but mostly the smug righteousness of the materialistic modern ego. Denial, in the context of this process, can then easily manifest out of fear of the breakdown of that ego, the fear of ridicule, the fear of the unknown, and what lies ahead for the individual. It can be daunting to look in the mirror and have a true acceptance that everything you knew and how you came to know it is utterly false and does not exist in the way you thought. Think about your upbringing, your education, relationships, employment, and go deep into the concepts and core of those things. At the base level, the lies and deceit become evident, though I think most of it is not intended or specifically directed at you. These are perceptions and ideals that have been inherited through generations. You can also see that, in addition to lies, campaigns of avoidance are being propagated through our society. How are we to accept this? Is seeing the conflict of interests within the institutions we've come to trust. All that we have known is based upon surface-level ideologies driven by the agendas of people with power and money. Once we begin to recognize this pattern in everything else, and as a result, verify for ourselves the misleading and distracting nature of our reality, we can finally move past the denial and into acceptance.